Welcome to Germany for today's qualifying session at the famous Hockenheim Ring. The pit lane lights will turn green in the next minute or two to signify the start of qualifying. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Of fuel remaining. Top 10 now, keep it up. Excellent lap, we're really pleased.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Vettel, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. With average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour, the Hockenheim Ring is a quick circuit with a lap distance of 2.8 miles, around 17 corners. The main DRS zone through Parabolica leads into the hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Let's talk about the engineer. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Butler, Pierre Gasly and Albon. The engineer, Verstappen, Hamilton and Daniel Kvyat. Giovinazzi, Weber, Valtteri Bottas and Raikkonen, Hülkenberg, Perez, Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo. Norris and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
This is on. this level of damage. Some wear on the MGUK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, go, go, go. After these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. out in front. The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Okay, clear. Okay, you're in the top 10. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for Haas. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Today was another great race and an even greater victory for Haas. Here they come now to step out onto the top of the podium. They'll be incredibly happy with today's result. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. The engineer increases their championship lead. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, I have to give it to Lucas Weber. Cool, calm, collected, a very consistent performance, and one that he can definitely be proud of today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.